Once in a city, there lived a girl called Fatima. She was the daughter of a prosperous spinner, the one who make ropes. One day, her father said to her, "Come, daughter, we are going on a journey, for I have business in the islands of the Middle Sea. Perhaps you may find some handsome youth in a good situation whom you could take as husband." They set off and traveled from island to island, the father doing his trading while Fatima dreamt of the husband who might soon be hers. One day, however, they were on the way in sea that storm blew up and the ship was wrecked. Fatima, only half conscious, was cast upon the seashore near Alexandria. Her father was dead and she was all alone. She could only remember dimly her life until then, for her experience of the shipwreck and her exposure in the sea had utterly exhausted her. While she was wandering on the sands, a family of the cloth makers found her. Although they were poor, they took her into their humble home and taught her their craft. Thus it was that she made a second life for herself, and within a year or two, she was happy and reconciled to her lot. But one day, when she was on the seashore, for some reason, a band of slave traders landed and carried her, along with the other captives, away with them. Although she begged for mercy, Fatima found no sympathy from the slavers, who took her to Istanbul and sold her as a slave. Her world had collapsed for the second time. Now it happened that there were very few buyers at the market. One of them was a man who was looking for slaves to work in his woodyard, where he made masts for the ship. So when he saw the dejection of the unfortunate Fatima, he decided to buy her, thinking that in this way at least he might be able to give her a slightly better life than if she were brought by someone else. So he took Fatima to his home, intending to make her serving maid for his wife. When he arrived at the house, however, he found that he had lost all his money in cargo, which had been captured by pirates, and he could not afford workers. So he, his wife, and Fatima were left alone to work at the heavy labor of making masts. Fatima, grateful to her employer for rescuing her, worked so hard and so well that he gave her freedom, and she became his trusted helper. Thus it was that she became comparatively happy in her third career. One day, he said to her, "Fatima, I want you to go with a cargo of ships, masts to Java, as my agent, and be sure that you sell them at a profit." She set off, but when the ship was off the coast of China, a typhoon wrecked it, and Fatima found herself once again cast upon the seashore of a strange land. Once again, she wept bitterly, for she felt that nothing in her life was working in accordance with expectations. Whenever things seemed to be going well, something came and destroyed all her hopes. Why is it, she cried out for the third time, that whenever I try to do something, it comes to grief? Why should so many unfortunate things happen to me? But there was no answer. So she picked up herself from the sand and started to walk inland. Now it so happened that nobody in China had heard of Fatima or knew anything about her troubles, but there was a legend that a certain stranger, a woman, would one day arrive there, and that she would be able to make a tent for the emperor. And since there was as yet nobody in China who could make tents, everybody looked upon the fulfillment of this prediction with the liveliest anticipation. Successive emperors of China had posted officials to report any such foreign woman to the court. When Fatima stumbled into a town by the Chinese seashore, she was taken to the emperor. "Lady," said the emperor, "can you make a tent?" I think so, said Fatima. She asked for rope, but there was none to be had. So, remembering her time with his father as a spinner, she collected flax and made ropes. Then she asked for stout cloths, but the Chinese had none of the kind which she needed. So, drawing on her experience with the weavers of Alexandria, she made some stout tent cloth. Then she found that she needed tent poles, but there were none in China. So Fatima, remembering how she had been trained by the wood fashioner of Istanbul, made tent poles. When these were ready, she made the tent. When this wonder tent was revealed to the emperor of the China, he offered Fatima the fulfillment of any wish. She chose to settle in China, where she married a handsome prince and where she remained in happiness surrounded by her children until the end of her days. It was through these adventures that Fatima realized what had appeared to be an unpleasant experience at the time turned out to be an essential part of the making of her ultimate happiness. So, my dear, like the Fatima, the complaining spinner, we also keep on complaining before the Almighty Lord, who is the Al Alim, who is the knower of what is happening to us. But the time comes when all these dots are connected and all those failures and disappointments which you had in your life, they start making sense. All these events which we go through, they become part of us, of who we are. So keep on cherishing, keep on smiling, and keep on connecting the dots. Take good care of yourself.